Yes, hello. Welcome to Cat Manor. I am the lord of this estate. My name is Rendan Lovell. I am not a vampire. In case you're wondering, I'm just very rich and handsome. And my eyes are very red because of allergies, yes. Come on in, I'm sure you won't be bitten or killed or anything. Come this way.
To have a family,
That's what I really want.
no way. I got a cousin.
That is the whitest man I've ever seen.
He wants to meet up.
This whole movie is a absolute groan fest sleeper. The first hour of this is intolerably boring. It's girl walking around house at nighttime with a lot of blue and orange around her because apparently we have fallen into the early 2010s posters for some reason. The entire movie is blue and orange, and it got old because blue and orange gets old. And there's nothing to this. This is one of the worst movies I've seen this year. And honestly, I keep thinking about it and liking it less. This is not a movie I ever intend on rewatching. This is not a movie I ever intend on thinking about past this video. This is not a movie I ever want to see again. And yet I'm making a video of it. Why? Because I want to talk about it, because I want to yell about it, because it's so bad. And I have so many things to say about it. This movie has almost nothing going for it, aside from some fun performances and an absolutely trashy third act that I loved, which was somehow shot on a $10 budget, which we can talk about. There's just nothing going for this. It's so ugly. The style is abrasive, especially in the first 5 minutes. Half the time I was wondering what was going on. It was like a simple tracking shot through a hallway, and there was flashing lightning, there was quick cuts, there was constant swooping camera movements, and you couldn't tell what was going on. Editor, don't do that.
Oliver?
Cousin Evie.
It sounds so Jane Austen when you say it like that. You know, my mom always wanted to take me to England to learn about our family history.
But the rest of the movie follows a new character, and she is a New Yorker who's a strong and independent woman who don't need no man except when a man that is rich comes along. Then she needs the man. And that's all she can talk about is the man. And that's all she can think about is the man. But before that, she would bump into people and break things and then say, oh, it's my fault. And then when someone would get mad at the other person for breaking it, she would stand up for them and not be a total bitch about it. She would just go, oh man, that was totally on me. Don't worry, don't blame them. It's totally on me. Oh man, I feel so bad. It was, that was my fault. And if you're going to blame them, you are an asshole, because I already said it was my fault and I want to take the blame for it. So the fact that you're just parading around and pretending like I didn't just try to take the blame for it is so annoying. Character's not likable. I mean, man, this character just is not good. And she is the heart of the movie. She should be the centerpiece of the movie. You should like her. You should want her to succeed. You should want her to get out of this. But at the end of the day, it's she's not much better than these other guys. They're all rich, stuck-up assholes, but she's also a stuck-up asshole. She just happens to be poor and from New York, though. Let's talk about the plot, which is basically nothing. Okay, we're not done, but it's basically nothing. She gets a DNA test at her waitress job somehow. Still not clear on that. She gets a DNA test in a bag. She uses said DNA test, and it links her to someone in England. The guy in England gets very excited because he's definitely not trying to set her up to be a vampire's bride. But he gets very excited, and he comes out and greets her and pays all her expenses to come out to England for a wedding, who nobody seems to know.
Where are the bride and groom?
As you all know, there has been someone missing from this table.
The next hour is her walking around this palatial estate, aka a castle, and hearing noises and seeing a figure walking around every once in a while and being annoying. That's the rest of the movie, and then that's all intercut with the occasional maid that gets put into a room and gets killed. It's like the worst of three different things. It's the worst of a vampire movie in that it's barely a vampire movie, and the vampire stuff, while the most fun in the movie, is not clear at all. It doesn't set up the rules of this universe. That at one point, one of the ladies is like, oh, there's so many misconceptions about us. We can go out in sunlight, but we're going to put you in this coffin. And if you stab us in the heart with a stake, we will half die. But if you stab us through the gut with a spear on a statue, we'll turn into ash. And it makes no sense, and none of the vampire stuff is that interesting, except for when they're throwing each other around like an awful B-movie. So it's the worst of the vampires. It's the worst of romance because it's so clunky and awkward and poorly handled. The main character is supposed to be this strong woman who don't need no man. And then she instantly sees a man who's like, welcome to my estate. I have this lovely estate, and it's so beautiful this time of year. Isn't it? And she goes, oh, is it hot in here, or is it just me? Oh, wow, this is crazy. Instantly. Like, come on! That's like the most cliche thing you could possibly do, man. And even at one point, when they're about to kiss, fireworks go off, and they even say, it's like so cliche now. And it's like, just because you're commenting on it doesn't mean it's not.
Evie, this is a close friend of the family, Walter DeVille.
Hi.
Hi. Looking forward to getting to know you better, Evie.
And okay, they have like 3 scenes together. They have absolutely zero chemistry. The guy just is doing the same facial expression the whole movie. It's like either this, Stone Cold Man, or this, creepy, looking over eyebrows and smile guy. And that's it. And he barely says anything. He barely does anything. He just says, I'm rich. Look at me. Oh, haha. I forgot that I was rich. Aha. So quirky of me. And then girl is just girl after a while that walks around a house. So the worst of romance. And it's the worst of horror. Jump scare. Oh, waking up from nightmare horror. That's not scary, though. You know why? Because there's nothing to be scared of. We don't even know what's happening. Or we're not supposed to know what's happening for an hour. It's just bumps in the night. That's not scary, though. And the filmmaking does not help this. Because A, it's a blue and orange nightmare world. And B, it's the gross style of it all. Just ruins any potential at tension. So it's the worst of 3 things. That third act, that last 20 minutes, is so trashy. I was having a riot. It's so bad. It's good. It was so fun. I was in the back row of a theater by myself, fist pumping because I was having so much fun in the third act because it's so bad. They literally have like $10 to do it, though. There's one part where she Spartan kicks the vampire man into a fire, and it looked like the fire guy from the Roger Corman Fantastic Four that never got released. It seriously looked that bad. It was dreadful. But watching her Spartan kick him in, I went, woo! Woo! It was awesome. And then there's like a little vampire girl who's like 100 still, and she like scratches at another vampire, and the other vampire's like, what are you doing? And I laughed. And then she jams, they jam a spear from a statue through both of them. And I went, oh! And then the older vampire was like, don't cry, don't worry. Oh! And then died. And I hooped and hollered. It was awesome. The third act's a lot of fun. And it really doubles down on that camp. And that's what I want. I want camp in my vampire movies. Make more vampire movies with this type of camp.
To Evie, my new bride.
Take the wedding when she's like, oh, I will marry you. Ooh. Put that right at the halfway mark. And then the reveal when she's supposed to be a bride to a vampire, that's the midpoint. That's the low point in the middle of the movie. And then drag out that ending for the last hour. because that would be a riot. Have it be kind of like Ready or Not, where she's just like going through the house hunting these vampires. How awesome would it have been if she like opened her suitcase up and filled it up with like vampire hunting things, and the vampires were like running away from her? I mean, there's only 3 of them, so she'd only have to hunt 3, but you could drag that out to 45 minutes. She's like got a tool belt of like all these candles that look like stakes. She's holding one of the stakes. She's got water that she had blessed by somebody. I don't know. There's a clergy at the house or something. Whatever. Get some garlic cloves and throw it at them. That would be so fun. I know that like the one character's like, there's so many misconceptions about us, but have her kick one into a coffin and then drive a stake through it or something, or bury him. I don't know. Have fun with it. This movie feels like it was so scared to have fun with its premise. And that's its ultimate downfall. Because when you take this seriously, you get the worst of all 3 of your genres that you put into your movie. And you get a 2 out of 10. That's it.